Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best value for their whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems. David Beard, CRM Principal, and Jeff Richards, Head of Training Program Development for Sage CRM, spend time chatting with customers, resellers, and others about Sage CRM in action around the globe. In this episode, Marc thinks out loud about future trends he sees in CRM, from collaboration to integration, and the reality of what customers really ask for and what he will really build this year and in the future.
When it comes to building products, especially for us, a small ISV like us, we can have all these great ideas and we think this is cool. Technically, this is cool. We can do all this. We can do this AI thing. We can do this and we can do that. But at the end of the day, if no one's really looking for it, what problem are we solving?
Exactly. And you're running a business, right? So you got to respond to demand that pays.
Yeah. And I think definitely social media, it's a bit overplayed in terms of, especially in terms of CRM, really. Like, who's doing it? Is CRM the best tool for it? This is another problem, actually. I think CRMs, they need to focus on the areas they're really great at and not try and spread themselves too thin, and I think that's where the integrations are important. I think the new REST API, if I had this idea for a Twitter integration and I thought it was great, I go, okay, great, we can build its Twitter API. I would actually, if I was Sage, I would say, let someone else build that. We'll give you the toolbox. That would be just my view on that particular area. I suppose in terms of other integrations, Jeff, what I do see is people using tools like Power BI and embedding those into CRM.
Power BI, and you're doing things with Zap or Zap BI?
Yeah, I have seen. We haven't done that with it, but I have seen it. Our partner in Germany, he has done a good bit of Power BI. We have a customer who is running the Sage 100, the 365 integration, and they have a Power BI dashboard for their customers built within the portal. Again, I think those tools in terms of building dashboards and embedding them are the way things are going. And that's just from what I'm seeing. And again, I'm not we haven't done much with Power BI ourselves because we can't do everything, but that seems to be a trend that some partners are going with. From the point of view of a Sage partner, it's a great demo. And it's one of the powerful things about Sage CRM is that you can really embed anything into it. It's really a platform. It's like a gateway into your business to expand your business with and run your complete business on and get rid of those spreadsheets. They have their place, but get rid of those spreadsheets and actually make it easy for users to actually get to the data, the end users to get to the data, be they end users of CRM or the customer through a portal. Yeah.
Yes, I think you're right. I really heartily agree with the last statement because so many people use Excel to be a database, but that's not the point of it, is it?
But you can filter and sort. You can filter and sort. That makes a database, doesn't it?
And I'm not an Excel spreadsheet guru by any stretch, so obviously I'm doing a great disservice, but I think most people aren't very good at Excel.
No, don't they say 20%? I think that's even too high. But look, I've seen some amazing Excel stuff done in Excel, so I'm not going to knock it. It's a good thing. But, it's just things are just moving differently, When you had just Windows, fine, but now you've got to open up your data. Feed it into different things. As I said, Power BI or whatever it may be, data analytics tools, and equally be able to consume the data. So if we go back to your question about the Twitter integration, maybe I want to take the data from Twitter and bring it into my Sage CRM database and link it up somehow, or I can consume the data, So maybe that's a product for the future for someone else that can consume different social media feeds.
I think you will remember that we have a fellow partner in common who did build a LinkedIn integration, and it was quite good. Could have sucked it in and created a lead on the fly or a contact on the fly from memory. But I don't think he sold a lot of it, right? To your earlier point.
Yeah. And I have seen various things, but again, you have the problem with LinkedIn is that they now have it that you can only you got to be Microsoft or Salesforce,
right,
to actually do that. Put this wall up around it, and
monetize their own information. Yeah. Fair enough too, right? So what about the future? It's pivoting slightly differently, more generally, but back to your products. What do you think you'll be working on if we had this conversation this time next year? Have you got any other cunning products in mind, at least that you can talk about?
We're rebuilding the front end of Accelerator. So we're kind of bringing the tech up to date. This is the third rebuilding of the front end, really, because the product's around 10 years and tech just changes, So we're doing that. We're also working on our mobile products. We're looking to get them into the native app stores. And three things I think came up really that we feel we need to get there is a native app, so you can do push notifications, workflow on the mobile client, and offline as well for the mobile client too.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting reflection, that last one, because over the years, we didn't have a lot of take up in offline, but you see more of that now. I'm guessing you are, because otherwise you'd be lying about your earlier comment now, wouldn't you?
Well, that's true. You need to account. You're at least you're listening. It comes up. Personally, I'm a little bit. I have a question mark about offline. Really, that it's kind of like it's a box ticking exercise a bit. But unfortunately, I found that it shuts the door if we don't have offline sometimes. So we don't even get to even have that conversation. We do need to kind of get there. We have done work in the past on building in offline in Mobile X. We're not completely new to this area, but we just never pulled the trigger and moved it on from a kind of prototype stage.
Do you think that their offline access is acting as a type of safety blanket for customers, where they don't think that they'll need it, but they want to be sure that a solution will have it just in case?
Well, I think that is definitely one thing. I think the other thing is that it's typically it's in the list of things to be checked. Most other people say, "Oh, we have offline," and the reality is, it may be a tokenistic offline effort where it keeps names and but you can do nothing. Maybe you can look up the last 10 items you've viewed. We don't want to be another where you can tick the box and then have that awkward conversation later on when someone says, "Oh, you said you worked offline, but you don't do this, this, this." And, all you said was, "Do we work offline?" So we try not to be like that. We're trying to actually do it correctly. So. And I think with Mobile X, because we pitch it as a platform that you can build on, that you can heavily customize. If we're going to do offline, we need to have it that you can also do the offline and customize it and ship those customizations. So we'd like to do it correctly. That's what's in the plan for the next year. So I mean, hope we'll kind of roll these things out now. I'm hoping we'll get push notifications out by the end of the year.
What you might be interested in, Mark, is that some REST features which are going to allow the interrogation of metadata for screens. So you'd be able to dynamically find out what's inside the customized company box long or company box short. So you should be able to see and be able to develop a screen that looks at the full metadata for a particular screen.
Well, that's great, because at the moment what we have to do is we have to install a back-end connector on the CRM systems. Once that comes along, then at least we'll be able to query that metadata. That's kind of what's held us back from actually doing anything like that.
So that's been very interesting, I think, Jeff. That's an interesting chat. It's encompassed both the value add that Mark brings with his ISV add-ons, but also the thinking about the way people use products. And I think that's kind of a nice mashing up.
I think so.
Concentration of thought. Whatever. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for the contribution. That was a very interesting session. You've been listening to Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems.